So we're just continuing on from the previous video. Now, we could just sew this edge to here, this edge to here. In fact, let's just do that. So that to there. So we know that this orange seam is the top. That to there. And then we know this is where the hole for the arm is, so we can do the top of that to the top there. Let's simulate that. As you can see, that sleeve is now pulled up to there. Because we have this deactivated, the bodice is not going to do anything, remember. And also the simulation is quite quick. The problem we've got is because these areas, because the sleeve is circular, so the top is sewn to the bottom and it's creating a full circle, we have this extra panel down here in the bodice. So we need to create a hole in the bottom of the sleeve. Now you'll notice there's an extra point been added in here. Let's just turn that off. Just in the middle of these two segments here. So if I just delete that for now, what we can do is rather than go in and physically add a point using the add point tool, where you just click on the line, we can right click, and if we want, we can dictate the size of the lines on each side, or do that by percentage. We can split it via the length, or we can use a new uniform split. So we can say we just want two lines. Click OK, and that will put it exactly in the middle. Split that into two. So because we've got this area split here, we now need to add a split into these areas of the sleeve, just so that we've got, basically this is sewn on here, but we also need this edge to sew onto something else on here too. So let's just create a uniform split there just for now, just to get those points in there. Now these seams will be retained, but we don't want those now. We want to get rid of those. So let's add in some new ones. So this is going to go up to the top here because this is the upper seam. This one, again, we want the upper seam there. But now we have these little edges down here. So this one must go here. And this one, we'll try that here. So now if we simulate, see if we got that right. Although now, because the bodice is stuck, let's activate that. Activate that. Just activate these upper sections. So all I'm doing on the menu is going right up to activate. Let's simulate that again. So as you can see now, that's unfolded. So we've got that nice, that's attaching to this panel nicely there and matching up here. Let's just pull this over the shoulder. Now this is where you have to start to think about line lengths as well. The line length down here is much shorter than the one up here. In fact, if we click on an edge, that's 15. This is sewn to here, which is 48. So we now need to start to think, right, let's move this down here. We could turn off snap to grid and get to about 15. You can see that updating in here. Again, with this, we need to check 63.25. So that's 81. So we need to, let's turn snap on this time. So that's 61. And at the moment, we're just looking for roughly the same. So we have to do the same with this sleeve as well. But what we could do alternatively is work on this sleeve and then mirror that and reapply it. But for now, let's just 15, roughly 15, roughly 63. 15, 63, So that should fit a bit nicer. Just check. And it looks like we may have got some of the seams the wrong way around. So let's go into our seam editor. As you can see there, that's set up wrong. Perhaps we've got the actually the orange is the top. So yeah, maybe we didn't have it wrong. We know we want the shorter area at the bottom, so let's drop that down to 15. 15 there. So that is matching up with there. That is matching up with the top of there. That with the bottom. I'm just hovering over it now, and that with the bottom there. Simulate that again. And that's better. So it was a bit fiddly, but what we've managed to do is get a sleeve with 2 panels attached to an area with 1, 2, 3 panels. And it just tidies up that area there as well. And that shoulder has fallen down, but we can just pull that around and fix that and pull that up. So again, we could go in and we can, maybe we want the area down towards the end of the sleeve a bit shorter. Snap to grid. Just so it's tighter around the sleeve. And don't worry about this area here coming through, because if we come in here and we adjust our particle distance like we did before, we set that to 10 and simulate, we can pull this out here like so, and that's going to fit a lot better because there's a lot more density in that area. So there we have one basic sleeve, and then all we need to do is copy that and mirror it to the other side to create the other sleeve. And at this stage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you to mirror that yourself. All I'm going to do is just add one little bit of decoration. I'm going to create, and I'm just going to do this quickly, just create another panel like so. Move this end. In fact, I'm going to delete that point. And why don't we maybe add a bit of a wave to it. Now we've added one bit of curve in there, so if we want to add another one we have to add in another point, and then that gives us the ability to maybe create a curve with more of a wave to it. Or maybe we'll need to add in another point. And then we can pull that out, maybe turn snap off. And we're just getting that sort of wave there. Let's pull this area in like so. So where is this? Let's just move this down. And then we're just going to very quickly, we'll sew this to the bottom there. We simulate that. We've now got this hanging off the sleeve. So it's just an extra bit of decoration. And if we want more folds and ripples in there, we can just select one end of this and make it longer. And because that line length is much longer than this, as you can see, it's all compressed and folded up to get those nice sort of ripples and creases. So that's one sleeve done. Again, play around with the shape and experiment a little bit more. But I'm going to leave you now to create the sleeve for her right side. And then what we'll do in the next video is we'll probably move on and start to look at adding in her skirt.